What's up, everybody? So somebody sent me an email and they like that, I put a lot of AI out on here. So they like that I just kind of rough it sometimes, and it's one of those mornings. I had just rolled out of bed not that long ago. We made some breakfast. I had a guest over. Um, Surprising turn of events. Yesterday was kind of crazy. It was my last day at um, my old job. Not going to talk about that again, but I did do a video about it. Um, I was just kind of, I planned to film outside because it was supposed to be really nice, but it ended up being rainy and gloomy, and it wasn't really good for filming. And today it's 10 in the morning and it looks like it's dark out, so it's going to rain all day and be gloomy. So I might do some tarot readings later. I'm just going to write today and relax. I start my new job on Monday. Take it easy. My back's kind of hurting. I have arthritis in my lower back, and when the rain comes, I can feel it. So took some medicine for that. I'm just kind of hanging out, about to get in the shower. But what I actually came on here to talk about, it's not my story this time, and it has to do with my visitor last night. Out of the blue, unexpected, just kind of got called by a friend of mine. We used to be really, really close. She was attached to my life when I lived in Pennsylvania, and I was with my fiance, early 20s age, college age, and she was dating my fiance's fellow, companion in arms. So we were always together. We were around the same base and stuff. Um, Anyway, she ended up marrying her person. They had a couple of kids. They were together a long time. They got divorced, but stayed cordial. They were always like really good about, staying friends. That was like the one thing that I liked about their relationship. Like they could have kids' birthday parties and both of them bring their significant others, and it wasn't a problem. They just had that kind of relationship. I think they just fell out of love with each other, but they didn't stop being best friends, which is super cute, right? Especially when you have kids. But tragically, our friend Tommy, a few years ago, committed suicide. Um, we believe it has a lot to do with his PTSD, survivor's guilt, that kind of stuff. This happened when they were in this really funky part of their marriage. Like, not, well, no, they were already divorced. It's like they had these feelings rekindle and they were thinking about getting back together, but it didn't end up happening. And again, it was cordial. It wasn't like, she was with somebody else and she was in love with two people at the same time. Unfortunately, her ex-husband's feelings were coming up there and she was dating someone. So around that time is when he unfortunately committed suicide. And, we had a little bit of beef between us. When this kind of stuff happens, I feel like you just look for anything to blame just to make sense of it. Around this time, Tommy was coming to visit me, and he was also doing the same thing. Like, I think we should see where this is going. And I was never into Tommy like that. He's like a brother to me. So it was really hard to kind of like turn him down a little bit. So I felt bad around the time when he died because I felt guilty, not being there for him. I had to put a little distance up. He was getting a little pushy. I didn't really like it. It was all part of the mental illness. It's like he just didn't want to be alone. And instead of asking for help, he was just trying to find a companion. And I don't think we understood that at the time. And I think we both had a lot of guilt for that. And for a minute, she was like, you did it, whatever you said to him sent him over the edge. And I didn't really say anything mean. We ended cordial. Like, I didn't like that he was pushy. I sent him home. I'm like, you gotta go. Like, I don't want to ruin our friendship, and you're kind of pissing me off a little bit. And so he left. It wasn't like we had a big fight, but in her eyes, that was kind of like, we talked about all of this at dinner, and she was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I was so stupid for blaming you. Like, he just kind of showed up on your door. Like, I should have realized the signs. I'm like, me too. Like, it wasn't like Tommy just to, like, show up at my door. Like, I should have understood something deeper was going on. And it was good. It was good healing for us and our friendship. Like, she lives far away from me. It's not like we're going to be in each other's lives, but it was really nice to have that closure, because I've gone so many years with my fiance. When he passed away, all these people kind of iced me out because they were getting married, and I was just a reminder of what could happen to them. They could send their guys off to war and lose them too. I was just like a reality check nobody wanted. So I had feelings for that, and I kind of spilled those out last night too, and I've like been carrying all of this shit. And it was nice for her to see, because she understood that, because when Tommy committed suicide, the community iced her out too. And she's like, I'm so fucking sorry for doing that. And I'm like, we were 20 years old. Like, you were starting your life, and you didn't want to be reminded of what, like, I understand it now, but then I was very hurt. Like, you guys are my friends, and I lost, like, such a big person in my life. And to be iced out and have to go through that alone, like, was not cool. Like, not cool at all. And I would never do that to anybody. And I hope, like, you guys, because they're all part of the military still, actively involved and stuff. I'm like, I hope that you help solve this in the future, and create something for these women or men who lose their spouses, and you have like 3 months to get off base. It doesn't matter if you've been in the military your whole life. It doesn't matter if you don't have anywhere to go. They give you 90 days to get off base. And also, not only get off base, but you have to leave the house in pristine conditions. And you're just not in the mental capacity for that, to like go through a checklist and paint and do all this shit and prepare your home for the next soldier who might die. It's just like a mental fuck for somebody who just lost somebody. It's like really cold for our military to still to this day have this 90-day thing. Like, I understand you can't keep housing them because they are, they're not in the military, their spouse was, but can't you have like a program that like helps them pack and helps them do the checklist and helps them find a place to go, and not on the last day? Like, they'll come check up and they'll make sure you're packing. But most women or men are grieving, they're fighting it. They don't want to leave base, because by leaving the base, they have to admit that their person is gone, and it's like a whole mental thing, and there's no counselor there to help those people to this day. So that's a change that I really voiced about. I'm like, you really need to get on this if you want to help it for women like you, who lost their person from PTSD, long standing with it, not being treated. Like, you need to get on the military for, making sure these guys have programs so that this doesn't continue to happen. And I think, I don't know if we'll ever be like best friends again, but I think as far as peace and both of us just cleaning out our closets, it was really vital and really important to do. And it was intimidating because we did have all these big feelings between us, and we were so close, and we had a lot of ish in there. But being grown-ups now, we were able to discuss it and not fight, which probably back in the day we couldn't have done. But I think that you should go back. If you have friends like that and you lost people, you need to have those conversations, because it's so freeing. And I feel like I've already let a lot go, but that was the last of it. You know what I mean? Peace.